The camera's turned around to the right way. I was having tripod issues then, guys. How we doing, everybody? Thank you for joining me. Give me a second. My tripod was falling down. It's all going mental. Who's joining? Lee's here. I think I just saw Rach is here. Carol's here. Who else is here? Let me know. Just say hello. How are we, everybody? Good evening. It's 10 p.m. here in the UK. Rach is watching from LA, so that's going to be like 2 p.m. I think. Aloha. I can't see. I didn't see whose name that was. Lulu's here. Lee's here. I've got a brew. I'm not with it, guys. I've had like the busiest week of my life and one of the busiest days of my life, and it's been a bit mental. But it's book club. It's Friday night. It's time for some book club. Barbu's here. It's 2 here in La La Land. Are you at Starbucks or what, Rach? Because I've got a Starbucks, but it's not. Well, it is a real Starbucks, but it's just not from the shop, obviously, because I've made it myself, and it's just not. It's boring because now I've seen that Starbucks put so much sugar in their stuff. If I have a Starbucks, which I had a Starbucks today, and now I just have to make a plain coffee at home at 10 o'clock. It's not nearly as exciting. Awesome. Well, this is pretty cool. So guys, tonight we're talking about. Well, we're going to give people a few minutes to join, by the way. We're going to talk about change tonight, the drive for change. It's book club. We're reading Brendon Burchard's The Charge. It's about 10 human drives that make you feel alive. Last week, Sasha, good evening. Last week we looked at control, the drive for control. The week before, if you want to go back and watch the replay, we looked at. What did we look at? Oh, we looked at the 3 types of lives, didn't we? So so not the charge, just the charged life is the life we're after. But we looked at the caged life and the comfortable life, which are the 2 types of lives that most people end up living. If you want to go back and watch the replays, or if indeed you are watching the replay of this right now, thank you very much for joining us. Go to actonthis.tv and click on Periscope in the menu, and you can watch now nearly 70 previous Periscopes that I've done. They're all on kind of, well, they're all things that are just going to help you get further in your life faster. So Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m, I do something called Mind Hacks and Motivation. And Friday nights at 10 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. in La La Land, we do something called Bulletproof Book Club. For those who haven't got a clue who I am, by the way, my name's Ross. I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester here in the UK, and I'm just kind of obsessed with mindset, positive science-backed psychology, high-performance psychology, things that are going to just help you get further in your life faster. So if you're into that, subscribe, share this scope, tell your mates, get everyone on board, and we'll all get further in our lives faster and have a lot more success. You can share this scope right now. If you, I don't know if you're on iPhone, do you swipe up? Let me know if you're on your iPhone. I think you swipe up and you can share it on Facebook and Twitter. If you're on Android, you might have to swipe left to right. But do that for me, that would be awesome, because people tonight will hopefully get quite a bit out of this. If you are afraid of change, give me some hearts on the screen. If change normally scares you, and you're like, it's something that you kind of shy away from in your life, I'm seeing hearts coming through. It's something that everybody is kind of scared of, but the drive for change, something that's absolutely inbuilt within us. We don't really feel alive sometimes unless we are striving for change, and we're having new experiences and we're growing. Good evening, Warren, good to see you. Ed was here as well, great to see you, Ed. Warren, you made it. Warren said he was speeding across London to make it in time for tonight. And he's made it. Kat's here as well. Good evening, Kat. So yeah, guys, we're just talking about what we're going to be talking about tonight, and it's all about change. So if you struggle with change normally, it scares you, or maybe there's a change going on in your life right now, and you're a bit afraid of it, then tonight's scope, hopefully, is going to help you with that. So for those who have just joined now, so just to recap, we're reading Brendon Burchard's The Charge. It's about the 10 human drives that make you feel alive, and one of the charges that makes you feel alive is change. Now, I can't read the whole of this chapter because it's pretty big, but if you haven't got this book, get it. It's like $12.99, I think, from Amazon.co.uk. If you're watching this scope on the replay, you can click, if you're watching on actonthis.tv, you can click underneath this video. You actually see a link to Amazon where you can buy the book directly from them. But it is pretty good. It's awesome. Good evening, Nina. Nina's here as well. How are you doing? Let me know how everyone's week's been before we start. Has it been a good week or what? We've done a lot of live stuff this week, and a live broadcast with Annie Wallace from Hollyoaks on Wednesday. We did the Bulletproof Actor live webinar, call 1, last night. Now we're back on for book club. I got so confused last night. Those who were eagle-eared at the end of the Bulletproof Actor live call we did, I said, I thought it was Thursday today, so I thought I just was going mad, absolutely mental. I have no idea what day it was yesterday. Right, guys, I'm going to dive in and start reading you some of this book. Like I say, I can't cover it all, but you should get it, and you can read the parts that obviously I can't read to you. But I want to look at just one activator of change tonight. It's been a good week, Carol, hasn't it? It's been good. Carol's been on it all. She's been involved with all of it this week. It's great to see you, Carol. And don't worry about that audition. Carol had an audition this week. It was great. Got down to the last 2. Didn't quite get the part, which you got pipped at the post. There's a lot of actors on these scopes, by the way. If you're watching this and you're thinking what you're talking about, there's a lot of actors. I'm an actor. There's a lot of actors who watch these scopes. But Carol, hang in there. That's one step closer to a yes. It's not one step further away from a yes. The next one, and that casting director has got you in their sights. So hang in there. It's an awesome achievement just to get second place on something like that. Because I imagine there's loads of people who are up for it. She's fine with it. She's fine with it, as you should be. Forget about it. Move on. Done. But take pride that you got there. No auditions need motivation. Nina, they're on the way. I promise you. Well, you know what? You might need some change in your life. If you're not getting auditions in your life right now, guys, you've got an agent after months of looking. Sasha, tell us all about it at the end. Let us know who you signed with. But if you're not getting the success that you want, maybe it is time for some change, and you've not been doing, you've not been changing anything in your life because of the fear and the 3 expectations of fear and pain that we're going to look at tonight that come with change. But I'm going to help you. Well, Brendon, who wrote the book, is going to help us all get over those. He starts this chapter off with a little anecdote of a guy he met in an airport. When you're in an airport lounge and you're looking at the plane and you're all waiting to get on, and he saw this guy, and he started chatting to him, and he was a businessman. He was really, really successful. His job was to go into organisations in America, some of the biggest in the world, Warren says the scopes have helped this week. Awesome, Warren, great. But this guy's job was to go into some of the biggest companies in the world and convince literally tens of thousands of employees in that company to change their IT systems and to change the way that their infrastructure works to be more successful. And that was his job. He would go in, and he was really successful, convince hundreds of people, thousands of people to all change their systems and spend a lot of money, changing stuff and getting them through that fear. Yet he was saying to Brendon, he went, I'm supposed to be smart, but I can't change myself. Even when it comes to my diet, this guy was quite overweight, didn't look very healthy. And Brendon was like, he doesn't hold punches, this guy. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I agree with you. You're not very smart. You think you are, you go into these companies and you change everything about them, but you can't change yourself. And he goes through 3 in this book, actually. Well, there's two sections of change within here, and tonight we're going to look at making change about the gains and not about the losses, because when change is upon us, so many people just focus on what they could potentially lose during that change, as opposed to the gains that they could get through that change. So I'm just going to read you a little bit of the book. Okay, we're going to stop at parts, and you can give me your comments, ask any questions. But it starts off and it says, as with all human drives, the answer has a lot to do with how we have thought about and activated change in our lives in the past. So your relationship with change today is going to be built upon your relationship with changes that you've made in your past. Regardless of the past, though, Brendon says he believes that you can gauge your chances of living your dream life from today forward by the answer to this simple question: do I both welcome and cause change? So first of all, answer me that. Do you welcome and cause change in your life, or do you back off and kind of shy away from it? Just let us know quickly. Give us a couple of answers. Do you welcome change in your life, or do you cause change, or do you back off from change and you kind of shy away from it? Let me know in the chat there. If the answer is yes, then you can smoothly navigate the flow of life and reach your desired end. If the answer is no, and don't be shy now, don't start tailoring your answers, right? If your answer is no, you'll always feel tossed about and terrified by a turbulent stream of chance. Nina says, yes, I love change, but sometimes worry about the circumstances. Totally natural, I'm going to cover it in a minute. Sure, I quit my job and sold my flat to be here. Hopefully not to be here on this scope, Warren. That's a little bit extreme, but thank you if that's true. Oh yeah, I welcome change now. I didn't not so long ago. Exactly, well that's great, Carol, that now is never too late to welcome that. I'm on a nightmare with my phone connection if I randomly disappear, just to let you know. Not a problem, Sasha. I know the Wi-Fi in Liverpool you guys out there don't, you only have one Wi-Fi hotspot between a lot of you. I'm joking, just joking, it's just a mank Liverpool thing. So yeah, if the answer to that was yes, so you do welcome change and you cause change in your life, Sasha's seething now, then you're going to have a much easier time navigating life, okay? If you fight against change and you don't welcome it into your life, then, as it says there, you're going to be terrified by a turbulent stream of chance, and you'll live life grasping at any certain shore that appears before you. So you're just going to grab onto the next thing. If you feel uncertain, in your life, your relationship, your career, you probably just grab onto the nearest comfortable object or person. I have to ride my bike to get internet, says Sasha. Amazing. I love it. Get a little hamster in a wheel, Sasha, to do it for you. So if you get a handle on anything in life this year, get a handle on how you feel about leverage and drive change, okay? How you can drive change into your life. Doing so will make you feel more stable yet excited, more blessed yet determined. You must know this, change is the only path to your dreams, because to grasp them, you must move from here to there, and here are the activators to make that journey even more enjoyable. Now, I can only look at one activator tonight. There is a couple more in this book that you can read on your own, but I picked out the most important one that I think, right? And this is about making change, about the gains, not about the losses, okay? So it's important to reshape how you may be thinking about change right now, because so many people fear it that they simply suppress the drive for it. So if you're fearing change, you're just going to suppress that drive, right? But doing so is catastrophic. Good evening, Sam. Good to see you here. When we stop activating the drive to change, life feels the opposite of expansive or exciting. It feels small, okay? Stagnant, boring. We feel okay about life, but with no changes to look forward to, we feel blasé. So give me some hearts if you've ever felt blasé in your life and you're just like, oh, I've had this over the last couple of weeks when I started to go, right, I need to redevelop adsonthis.tv, one of the websites that I run. If people don't know about it, go check it out. Because it's looked the same now for about 18 months, and I'm a bit of a web geek, and I'm like, no, we need to change it up. So I'm working with my web development team now to change it up significantly. But change, when you start feeling blasé, you just need some change in your life. We wonder where our hunger and ambition went. So maybe you're feeling a lack of ambition, okay? We sleep fine at night, but we miss the nights when we used to lie awake dreaming of a bigger, bolder, brighter future. When was the last time you lay in bed dreaming of a bigger, bolder, brighter future? Be honest with me. When was the last time you dreamt about that? Or did you lie awake kind of like actually worrying about things in your life instead? Okay, because as kids, I used to dream probably a lot more about a bigger, bolder, brighter future as a youngster than maybe I do now, and have to kind of, remind myself, that I should be doing that. But let me know, when was the last time you lay in bed dreaming of a bigger, bolder, brighter future? And if we ever do dream at night, it says here, we sometimes let our dreams die in the daylight. So who's gone to bed excited and woken up in the morning and thought, oh, might actually be quite hard to do that thing, kind of like, I was laying in bed dreaming about it, but actually I'm probably not gonna go through with it because of that will require change. Selena says yes. Mary's here as well. Good to see you, Mary. Every night, love dreaming, says Sam. It's great. I like daydreaming on the train as well. But sometimes, our dreams die in the daylight because we've lost the guts to make the necessary changes in our lives to go from here to there. Okay, there are thousands of reasons why you might fear change and see it as a painful thing to be avoided. Carol, last night, because I thought I had the job. You did, Carol. Carol thought she had that job I mentioned before last night. And then unfortunately she found out today she didn't. The other actress got it. But it's alright, Carol. Dream tonight of the job that's coming next week, alright? So there are thousands of reasons why you might fear change and see it as a painful thing to be avoided at all costs. Maybe someone in your life died and thrust unwanted change onto you quickly. Maybe every time you got comfortable, the world threw you a curveball of crap for no reason. Hey, Kate is here. Good evening, Kate. Maybe you never got what you wanted whenever you tried to make a change yourself. Maybe you're just fearful of breaking routine or being judged. Some people even argue that you may fear change out of some biological programming. So there is even some kind of, hi Kate, there is some, hi Hayley, isn't it? Hey Kate, Hayley, yeah. There is, scientific evidence to say that there's a part of our brain that, fears change scientifically on a science basis, instinctually fears change as well. Brendon says he's activated change in people's lives professionally for more than a decade though, and he's come to realise that people don't fear change at all. In fact, most people even consciously pull for change. Rather, people fear what change will or won't bring. And this is the key. It's not the change that you're fearing, it's what that change will or won't bring that you're fearing. And thus it's the expectation that's the demon of fear. Okay, that's where the demon really resides, in the expectation. Now, there are 3 expectations about change that I'm going to go with you through with you tonight. Write these down. Carol, you had an awesome attitude and amazing positivity last night, which is fab in itself. You did, Carol. I will back that up. Well said, Sam. So, write this down, okay? Let's get to the first of these fears of change, okay? He says it's a no-brainer that some of us have linked up in our minds that change equals pain, okay? But the subtle part of what I've learned is it's the expectation of 3 specific kinds of pain that makes us fear change. The first reason has to do with an expectation of loss. Okay, so write that down. So the first fear is an expectation of loss when it comes to change, okay? An expectation of loss. You imagine the upcoming change taking control of your life and stripping you from something you enjoy, love, or something you're comfortable with, okay? You fixate on all the things you will lose once you make or experience the change. And because you expect to lose more than you gain, you become fearful or unmotivated. So who can relate to that? Ever been a time where you've been like, right, okay, maybe a fear of changing agent? Who's ever had that? And they're like, right, okay, well, you know, maybe I think that it would be a good idea, but I fear of what I could lose. You know, the contacts my current agent has got, what if I lose those? What if I lose the friendship of my current agent? Because I really would like to keep hold of that, you know, although it's only business, some people can't see through the business. Ha, absolutely. So Nina's been there. Nina's experienced that. I'm sure we all have. I definitely have when it's come to agents, without a doubt. Not of changing agent, but not of having one. They say you need one. So yeah, I mean, obviously agents massively helpful in the acting industry. Fear of not knowing what will happen, absolutely. But yeah, fear of loss is a huge thing when it comes to change. I brag about being realistic, but it's fearing change and failing. Yeah, who needs realism, Kat? Since when did being realistic get you anywhere? Okay, let's get rid of that. You know, sometimes you've got to be realistic in some circumstances, but when it comes to kind of ambition and what you want to achieve, let's be unrealistic if we can. Not yet, but it's a thought I fear if that time comes in the future about the agent thing. Yeah, I'm sure it's like breaking up with somebody, isn't it? It's horrible. So everybody has that, you know, that kind of fear of loss when it comes to agents. So Brendon gives just a very general example. He says, for example, say your boss announces that your position has changed. Maybe you'll resonate with this as well. I'm working on it, has made massive change already. Awesome, Kat. So for example, your boss announces that your position has changed and you're being transferred to a new department. You can meet this news with any of the 3 emotions: curiosity, optimism, or fear of loss. Okay, it's fear though that you focus intently on, you know, losing your nice office, losing the power you work so hard to attain in this department, losing the chance to work with your favourite co-workers, losing the certainty of knowing what you're supposed to do with your day. The expectation of loss is where all the damage is done. So that's the first one. So expectation of loss. Of course, bystanders in your life, negative wolf syndrome, definitely. For those who do Bulletproof Actor, you'll know all about negative wolves that live inside of us. It sounds very random, but go to bulletproofactor.com to find out more. So of course, bystanders in your life will rationalise, well, it might be for the better. They tell you to be optimistic and focus on what you might gain rather than what you stand to lose. After all, this might be the hand up you've been waiting for. Maybe it leads to a better office, better co-workers, better pay. Perhaps the new role will be more fun, engaging and meaningful. These rationalising bystanders are right, of course. You should focus on what you'll gain more than on what you'll lose. Optimists are happier in life for a reason. Still, you and I both know that it's nearly impossible to be balanced in receiving news of an unexpected change. It just is, okay? We fear leaving what we will lose, and we hope for some gain. So there must be a third option for better handling the changes that life thrusts upon us, right? We'll get to that shortly, but there's more pain coming your way first, right? So the first pain that you're going to feel is the expectation of loss. Expectation of loss, remember that, okay? The second reason you likely fear change stems from your expectation of process. So expectation of process pain, right? So carry on with this example Brendon's got. You hear about the position and department, okay, that your new position you're going for, that you've been given, and you begin to worry about what a colossal undertaking it will be to pack up your current office. I'm very much a butterfly mind, so quite like change. Unexpected change, not so much. Yeah, unexpected change is far more difficult. But yeah, so you get this new position, and then this fear of process starts coming in. So you start thinking what a massive undertaking it'll be to pack up your office, sort through all those binders, say goodbye to your co-workers, terrible one, and learn the new skills and lingo of the other department. If the new department is in a different building, you'll have to learn a new route to work, new places for lunch, new overwhelming and frustrating things, parking spots. Rach in LA, when you start working in LA, imagine you've had all that, going, wow, okay, well, I'm now working in a new town, bigger town, much bigger level, new, even things like new car park, new buildings, new routes to work. That fear of process can be really overwhelming, and people hate it and go, well, I don't want to change now, I just don't want to change. Naturally, no one is motivated by a pain in the ass, okay? Because that's what those things are, okay? But you must alter your focus, all right? Rather than zooming in on all the effort that change will require, bring to the forefront of your mind all the new experiences and relationships that will unfold before you. The mind likes new experiences and relationships, but dislikes pain. Okay, so here, again, your rational friends would say, well, just think, who you're going to get to meet. You're going to get to meet a ton of people and learn something new that might challenge you more than what you're doing now. Following this helpful line of advice, you might consider that you'll get to start with a clean slate in this new department and reinvent your personality at work. You'll get to be more assertive than before. You'll be smarter about playing the game because you've been there once before. You'll develop more fun and friendship-centered relationships with those around you. And you'll ask more questions and set better expectations at the outset so that this time, damn it, you own your role and love your people. So again, it's reframing, not worrying about the process, but looking at what the process might give you. So Brendon says, alas, this optimism can be hard to maintain, all right, thanks to the third type of pain you may associate with change. So first type of pain was the expectation of loss. Second one was the expectation of process, so the process pain. And the third one is the expectation of outcome pain, okay? So you think, well, all right, sure, there are some things to gain here, and yeah, the process might be something I can enjoy and really capitalize on. But what if, on the other side of this change, things don't work out and actually get worse? Who's invested loads in a gym membership, bought the gym kit, been going and thought, oh God, what if this doesn't work and I'm still not in shape at the end of it? Right, you might have been there, and then that's that fear of outcome, going, is this even worth it? Am I losing any weight? I've measured myself on the scales and I'm just the same weight as I was last week, and I've been at the gym every day. What's going on? Because it's the fear of outcome then. You've had the fear of loss, the fear of process, and then the fear of outcome starts kicking in. So he says, what if I'm going to phase out? What if I hate my new co-workers? What if I'm not as good as I thought I was? What if my new boss hates me? What if they do layoffs over the next year? What if their copier isn't as nice as ours? Who gets a call from their agent to say they've got a job, and then suddenly they're elated, and then 2 minutes later they put the phone down and they go, oh my God, fear of outcome. What if I don't do a very good job? What if the director doesn't like me? What if I don't remember my lines? What if I can't do a good performance? And suddenly that elation you've just felt starts kind of just falling down into this fear of outcome that you've got because of the change. You've just been given a new role, okay? Hopefully, he says again, your rational friends can help stem these fears once more. They'll suggest that you stop fixating on the possible long-term negative outcomes and start focusing on the positive ones. What's a call from your agent? We're going to sort that out, Nina. You're due a call. You're absolutely due a call. We'll work on that because you need a call, definitely. One in not so long is not good. So yeah, hopefully your rational friends will suggest that you stop fixating on the long-term negative outcomes and start focusing on the positive ones. They'll say you have to make yourself think of the possibilities, not the pitfalls, okay? And that's great advice as well. But again, you should heed that advice, obviously, as well. Doing so simply involves changing the negative what-if statements that you're playing in your mind, what if this doesn't turn out very well, to more positive what-if statements. What if this takes me one step closer? By focusing on positive outcomes, you might think about how you'll be smarter, happier, and even more secure now than you are in your new role than you were in your old role. Okay, you might think about the new skills you'll develop. Oh, I missed that, Warren, but I think you're talking to Sam, so that's cool. You might think about the new skills you'll develop, how you'll be more well-rounded and better connected between departments, more valuable, and how all these new possibilities will lead to new results and doors opening for you. If you think this all sounds like simply pouring optimism over an unwelcome change, then you're dead right. Okay, what is the alternative? Brendon says, but what is the alternative? You can either welcome change or you can hate it. You can either consciously direct yourself into feeling positive in life, or you can let yourself be swept into unexamined fear. As always, it's a choice. So that's those three kind of pain points that I wanted to emphasize, guys. So remember, write them down. Okay, whenever there's change happening in your life, expect these three things to happen. First of all, fear of loss to kick in. When I've had auditions, I've always been over the moon, so I've even been considered, which is good. Well, that's a bonus, absolutely, definitely. And you should, just to get an audition. Rachel told us last week, she went for an audition, and I think there was like 570 people had been submitted, and I think they took like 25 people. So you've already been culled down from a massive pool of people just to be invited in. But remember, when you start fearing that change, guys, so yeah, first point, fear of loss is going to kick in first of all. Then the fear of process is going to kick in. And then, even if you get through that, thirdly, the fear of outcome is going to kick in. So you've got to reframe your mindset in each instance. So rather than looking at what you're going to lose, look at what you're going to gain. Rather than looking at the process being a hardship and a struggle, look at all the opportunities it will bring you. And rather than fearing that the outcome will be negative, how about you start believing that the outcome could be positive, okay? So one thing at the end of this chapter, because Brendon puts some charge points in at the end of every single chapter. You can see how long this is. There's loads of pages still left in this chapter. But I want to ask you this before we wrap up tonight. What his first charge point here says, I want you to write this down. I want you to actually, say it on the scope now for me. This is as if you're saying this. A major change I've been holding back from making in my life because of an expectation of loss, process, or outcome pain is ... So what major change in your life that you would love to make happen have you been putting off and holding back from because of a fear of expectation of loss, expectation of a process, or outcome? With the pain points within those. So the pain of loss, the pain of process, and the pain of outcome. Which change in your life have you been putting off? And could you start working on imminently, either now, tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, this month at least? What kind of things could you change? Maybe it is in your health. You've been putting off going to the gym because you're like, actually, I don't want to go in the gym because I feel self-conscious about myself. I'm not in great shape yet, but you're not going to get in great shape unless you take the plunge and you go in the gym and you go through those fear, those fear points, those pain points. Who's going first? Mary, you go first. Jump in, definitely. Without a doubt, let us know. Let's share. And try to think kind of what I've not been doing. It's a difficult one. There's a new business idea that I really want to do, and I've had a little bit of fear of loss when it comes to finance, I guess, if I go through with it. A website I've been planning, awesome. I've been putting off dating. Tony's been putting off dating. Tony, get out and get amongst it. Get yourself on Tinder or Bumble, full of people to go on dates with. Making new friends where I am. Lee's on tour. Lee, you're in Scotland right now, yeah? Did you make? Or are you going tomorrow? I can't remember where you were going. Scotland in the morning. So you're not in Scotland yet, I don't think. I think I've got that wrong. Or maybe you are. I've completely lost it, mate. Tomorrow. Scotland is tomorrow. My old man was from Scotland. Don't have a fear of Scotland. Although there's probably lots to be afraid of. But yeah, so Tony there was going fear of dating. Okay, so you're going to have fear of loss first of all. Fear of loss of, like, I don't know, maybe confidence, maybe self-esteem if you get a knockback, or what you could lose if somebody rejects you or whatever. Fear of process will be like, well, actually, I've got to go out and mix with people, or I've got to get on this online kind of stuff. That could be a load of hassle. Why don't you focus on who you could meet? And fear of outcome would be, okay, what if it all goes wrong? Well, You know, I say this all the time, I've said it on loads of scopes before, when it comes to relationships, I would rather have a really bruised heart that's battered than a heart that's locked away in a cage and never gets opened. I missed your point, Carol. What did you say? You have to say it again. I can't believe I just missed that. But yeah, let us know what else. But a website, someone said a website. Don't have any fears of creating websites. I've been doing it for years. It's well easy when you put a little bit of time in to research it. Get yourself WordPress. Go to wordpress.org. Learn how to buy a domain name. Buy some cheap hosting for as little as like £2.50 a month. And then learn how to install WordPress, and then off you go. From there, you've got your own self-hosted blog. Very easy to run. Or go to wordpress.com and get one that's already hosted for you. You don't have as much control or flexibility of how you run the site if you do that. But if you just want a website and a blog, then do it. Sasha will help you with that as well. Sasha's got a blog. Sasha Says It All. It's her blog. I'm sure you can find that if you Google it. Sasha will help you out with that. But just be aware. I think, just being aware, rather than feeling the fear or feeling the pain, just being aware that it's going to happen is really going to help you. Moving permanently to another country, i.e. England, yeah, that's definitely a big one. Absolutely. Great point, Ross, about locked heart. It is totally, Tony. Honest man. We've all had heartbreak, and it's the worst thing in the world. It's absolutely horrendous. But it gets better. And you learn from it, and yeah, God, you don't just shut your heart off and go, well, I've had one bad experience and I'm never going to do it again. I've been blogging 8 years, really similar, very productive. It's awesome. That's how I kind of got into websites, and now I run a couple of quite big sites, and I wanna this new thing that I've had a little bit of fear of outcome, and maybe a bit of fear of loss as well when it comes to the money I would need to invest in it. Recently, I think I'm going to do it though. I'd rather live a life of oh wells than what ifs. Yeah, absolutely. Same point. The time's going to pass anyway, Tony. Just to put a positive spin on it for everyone tonight. You're going to die. You're going to die one day. Don't worry about it. Who cares? Just to be extra positive. But that time's going to pass anyway. You might as well use it, mate. Fear of technical stuff or not understanding. Need to do loads of that and start things off. Yeah, that's a huge one. Particularly, if you're a bit later in life. It's crazy to think that kids these days. I was just before like the internet generation, I guess. So the internet wasn't really very big at all. We didn't have it at school, for instance, or anything like that. It's amazing to think now that kids at school, I don't know what it must be like to go to school and go, well, you've got to do your project. I used to have to go to the library, root through them little index cards to find books, pull the books out and copy down in writing out of the books or encyclopedias. To go to Wikipedia now and go copy paste print. There's my project. I don't know what that must be like. I'm sure there's software they use now to stop plagiarism and stuff, but it must be an absolute minefield going to school now with the internet. But don't be afraid of technology, Carol. It's there to be your friend and help you. And there's so many courses. Go to lynda.com if you want to learn. I didn't even know what email address when I was at school. No, I didn't have an email address at all. It was about, I don't know, I probably would have been about 19, 20 or something like that. Didn't have one at school at all. Didn't have the internet whatsoever. All our IT lessons at school were just creating newsletters on something called Microsoft Publisher. It's like, oh, we're going to make a newsletter, and that was as good as IT got back then. To do a Periscope just was out of the question. Would have seemed absolutely crazy. But yeah, embrace it. Lynda.com, Lynda, lynda.com. You can learn anything in the world on lynda.com. Any pieces of software, any pieces of technology, anything at all. It's a fantastic website. It's not that dear. The courses aren't that expensive. It's a fantastic resource. It's sort of mic I bought for voiceover. Awesome. If you've got the Rode NT USB, which is this bad boy that I've got here. Awesome microphone for voiceover. I use it a lot for my demos. Did a demo today on it, which hopefully I'll get. There's a program that reads, I think that was probably about plagiarism and stuff, that reads and picks bits out to tell you whether you're copied and pasted. That's good, because I imagine it'd be very easy just to copy and paste. But yeah, great mic. I did a demo on this today for an advert for a finance company. The microphone was 109 quid. Forget the job, it'll be nearly £3,000. Well worth the investment. What was that? Something about mic? Mike, you like the mic? He said M-I-K-E, so I don't know if you're talking about a man or the microphone. Mike, there you go, yeah. That's a really good mic, really valuable piece of kit to have. if you want to get into voiceover. It's USB, you can use it on your Mac, PC, laptop, desktop. You can get a Camera Connect kit for your iPad and even use it on your iPad as well. Really flexible. It's got a great capsule in it, so it sounds, sounds really good. You don't have to worry about the technicals, but it sounds great. And it's last time I looked, it was 109 quid on Amazon. So check that out. There's a review of it as well that I did on actonthis.tv. Just search for Rode NT USB. If you search the articles, and you can listen to samples that I've made on it, so you can check it out yourself as well. So that's it for tonight, guys. Just thought, it's a little, it's quite well, it's not a quick one, is it? It's 36 minutes, but quicker than normal. We've gone for longer than that sometimes. But yeah, just change. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. Remember, if you cause change and look for it, then you're going to be able to navigate life a heck of a lot easier than if you resist it and if you fear it. Just don't worry about those fears. The pain of loss, the pain of process, and the pain of outcome. Flip it and go, well, you know what? There is no pain of loss because I'm going to gain everything. There's no pain of process because it's going to lead to great opportunities, and there's no pain in outcome because the outcome is going to be great. Just keep focused on what you want. As we always say, you get what you focus on. Focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. Simple as that. So I'm going to go in a sec, but what are you doing this weekend? Got anything exciting happening Saturday and Sunday? I'm doing some casting tomorrow with Dan Hubbard. Just helping him out. Don't know what that's going to be like, but it should be good fun. Let us know what you're up to. Cheers, Warren. You have a good weekend too, mate. If you've got anything exciting happening, anyone acting, auditioning, see Tony. You might have all the girls falling at your feet. Have I missed something here or what? Sam's always flirting on these scopes, Tony. So you're in there definitely. 5 hour train journey for Lee. Yeah, he's going to Scotland. Happy weekend studying period drama piece. Awesome, good work. Well, I'm joking, Sam, winding you up. Dance lessons and football. There's a combination, Warren. Got a workshop with Lauren Evans from Nina Gold's office. Wow. Well, yeah, if you can get in with Nina Gold or Lauren or Robert Stern, anyone in that office, good on you, Nina. That's what you need in your life. Pilates tomorrow and Zumba. Sunday, Insanity. Lee's big on Insanity. Lee's on here. He's big on Insanity. So that's now of course a fight because Lee thought he was going out with Sam to the theatre. They're going on a theatre date or something. Workshop with Lee Mountjoy. Look at this, the scope is just bringing love in the world to people. That's wicked, Carol, that you're doing Insanity. That's absolutely amazing. I don't think I'd even try Insanity. I work out a lot, but it seems totally insane. It's a killer. It is, honestly. Hopefully it's not, Carol. Fingers crossed you'll be here for the next webinar. but it is supposed to be great. Yeah, Lee's a big fan. He does T25, Insanity, all those crazy workouts you got to do at home. He's already completed it, mate. I've already done it. Whatever. But that's awesome. Good on you, Carol. That's really good. Dig deep. Yeah, dig deep, as Lee says. Fantastic. Well, I'll leave you to your weekend, guys. It sounds brilliant, though. Keep me posted. If you're not part of the Facebook group yet for Act on This TV or Bulletproof Actor, please come and join, particularly if you're an actor. It's facebook.com/groups/Bulletproof Actor or facebook.com/groups/Act on This TV. So please, come and join the group. Let me know what you might want to talk about on the scope on Monday night. I'll be back with some mind hacks and motivation on Monday evening at 10 p.m. UK time. Same on Wednesday. We'll be back for book club next Friday. We've got one last book club, haven't we? Let's just choose the chapter. Let's choose a chapter quickly. So we've looked at the drive for control, the drive for change. We looked at the 3 types of lives most people live. So that's the caged life, the comfortable life, where people think they're actually having a great life, but they're not, and the charged life. That's the one that we're after. We can look at, guys, so we can look at the drive for challenge, the drive for creative expression, or the drive for contribution. Contribution sounds pretty good to me. But what do you want? Let's go challenge or contribution. Make it easy. Challenge or contribution. What do you want to look at next Friday? And I'll read up on it, obviously. Challenge or contribution. Challenge. 1 for challenge, 1 for contribution. 2 for challenge. Keep coming at me. Oh, it's 2 all. First to 3 gets it. Challenge, it is. Challenge, there you go. Right, it's challenge. So look at the drive for challenge. Everyone's after some challenge. Amazing. Pleasure, Lulu. Good to see you here. Right, I'll leave you to your weekends. I'll end this without ruining my phone. Yeah, got it. Have a fantastic week. As someone just said on the chat, I can't remember who said it. Go get them this week. boom, well, this weekend and next week. Bye for now, guys. See you later.